New pressure on Donald Trump's subordinates, signaling the impeachment investigation of Ukraine is clearly escalating. Top committee chairs subpoenaing Rick Perry, which Trump has tried to at times blame for all of this. It comes as two key impeachment witnesses linked to Giuliani arrested today, a story we've been covering, and a new report revealing White House aides are doing a sort of a disappearing act to avoid any questions, dodging reporters, leaving town. They don't want to be on the record. And then there are the questions facing Mike Pence.
Well, were you ever aware, Mr. Vice President, that interest in the Bidens, that interest in investigating the Bidens was at least in part of the reason for aid to Ukraine being held up?
I never discussed the issue of the Bidens with President Zelensky, and
were you ever aware of within the administration?
What I can tell you is that all of our discussions internally, I mean, the president and our team, in our context, in my office with Ukraine, we're entirely focused on the broader issues of the lack of European support.
Well, you were aware
corruption.
of the interest in the Bidens being investigated.
Was
that being tied to aid to Ukraine being held up?
Well, that's your question.
Adam Goldberg is a former special associate White House counsel to President Clinton during the impeachment probe. Good evening.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Sure. What do you see as important here?
So for me, I think, we have two cabinet officials and the vice president who are also at risk of being impeached, and not just convicted and removed from office, but also disqualified from future office. Right now, people are talking about the magic number of 20, the number of Republicans needed to get to 67 and remove President Trump from office. But for me, the magic number most immediately is 4. Because if we can get 4 Republican senators, then we might have enough senators to a majority to disqualify President Trump, Secretary Pompeo, Secretary Perry, and Vice President Pence from holding future office.
When you look at Pence, does he have exposure?
He certainly has exposure. His national security advisor was on the fated phone call between President Trump and the president of Ukraine. He got a readout of that call. And then it's been reported that in his conversations with President Zelensky, he talked about the importance of them fighting corruption. Those were clear code words based on the earlier conversations that he knew about.
And in your argument, when they say corruption, that's code for be corrupt with us.
That's right, because President Trump on that phone call with the president of Ukraine made very clear that corruption was investigating Joe Biden and his son, and it was investigating this crazy conspiracy about Ukraine interfering in our elections instead of Russia.
We have talked a lot in the press and in Washington and political circles about the idea that Donald Trump does seem to get away with more things than other presidents. Do you think in some sense that may be the problem or the hubris that undid him here? Because he has really been making this up as he goes along. And as we just reported, a lot of the people around him appear to think this one is different. They're going dark. They're quiet. They see themselves having exposure. And in your role as a counsel in a White House, do you think that's the right strategy for them?
So their strategy is clearly just to lie and continue lying about what they did and hoping that enough people believe the lie and come to believe the lie. When I was in the Clinton White House, that was not our strategy. We countered and said what the president did was not impeachable, and it wasn't something that subjected him to remove from office. But we went to work every day resolute that the president should not be removed from office.
Did you cooperate with the Congress?
We sure did. We provided witnesses. We testified before them during the House impeachment hearings themselves. Absolutely.
It's very interesting, given your knowledge and your personal experience, Adam Goldberg. I hope you'll come back on the beat, because these topics may not be going away, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Ari Melber from MSNBC. You can see more of our videos right here, or better yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel below. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, and we appreciate that.